Flower is the first indie game on the PS3 to take a different approach. Instead of having fun gameplay or tons of replayability, they wanted to tell a story that, to this day, very few games have tried to recreate. But they didn't stop there by pushing the PS3's hardware and being a technical showcase for the DualShock 3 controller.
Welcome, Web of Wires. I remember growing up playing Flower. It was super different at the time, but I didn't really understand it. But because of how different it was, I feel like I had fond memories of it. And because it recently went to PC, I decided to relive the days of playing it and understand what made it so special.
Flower is supposed to be a relaxing game. There are 6 levels, and in each one you play any flower's dream. The goal is to collect every flower petal to spring life back into the world. It's a little mixture of open world and linear by giving you these massive worlds with the wind guiding you in the right direction, similar to Ghost of Tsushima. Back when it released on a PS3, they intended for you to use the gyroscope to travel, with no other option, but nowadays, I recommend a simple joystick. It didn't age as well, and at times can take you out of the game because of a tight turn. Flower also stood out with its audio design. The music is very simple, but it's very effective in immersing you into a relaxing, comforting world to let your mind wander. It's so playful and free, it feels magical. Gliding through the air, brushing the grass with every flower petal, and rising to the sky will never feel the same in any other game. Even the white noise of children playing, buses driving by, rainwater hitting the ground, every sound tells a story. But what holds up the most are the visuals. Back on the PS3, it was impressive to have every little blade of grass blowing in the wind with you. It ran at 720p and looked a little muddy, but the PS4 and PC versions are absolutely beautiful. Since then, it has also gotten a PS Vita and iOS port, which still play great. The colors and lighting look fresh and alive. You feel so free and open in these huge fields to soar through. This really is a game you need to play with a high-quality pair of headphones and a big TV. I'd love to see this game playable in VR one day. The visuals are what tell the story, and I mean this quite literally. There are no characters, there's no dialogue, there's nobody except the environment telling you how to feel. So why is this story so good? It's because of how they can say something without needing a character. Immediately from the title screen, we are looking at a flower. It looks sad and lonely. The apartment is beat up. It's the only color in the shot, yet you can tell it just wants to fade away like the rest of the world. And in this single shot, you are able to sympathize with a shriveling flower. No human characteristics to it, no movement, literally just a potted plant. And it's this form of storytelling which sets it apart from the rest. Like I said earlier, each world is a flower's dream. The first few worlds feel open, free, and all unique to each other, spreading life and color to a world in black and white. The further you progress, the more man-created structures get implemented into the world. Chapter 5 is a nightmare. The flower is scared that all this electricity and darkness of the modern world will wipe out all the life until this world is colorless. And the final chapter is the harmony of modern cities and life being together. A world that doesn't separate each other, but instead supports one another. The story can be interpreted in many ways, and to people who grew up or live in the city, I can see it hitting home to you. And as vague as I'm making the story sound, it is really good and something everybody has to experience at least once and create your own story. If you have the opportunity to play it, absolutely beat it. It's a game I think everybody should experience, and I say beat it because the entire game took me an hour and 10 minutes to finish. Steam's refund policy lets you refund a game if you played under 2 hours of it, and I feel this definitely impacted sales on PC. It's a cheap game, I got it on sale for $1.75, but there's no doubt some people really wanted their money back. This game can be replayed many times over, and I feel like you should to gain a better understanding of it, but the game itself is extremely short, and I kinda wish there was more than everything I did.
Flower is a relaxing game that puts a big emphasis on daydreaming. It gives you these massive open worlds, so when it starts closing in on you, even the tiniest bit, it feels a little bit claustrophobic. So what are my final opinions on the game? I recommend you play it, maybe even a couple times, and develop your own version of the story.